Welcome back to the Gold Creek Extended Cut podcast. We dive a little bit deeper into the weekend message here with a dear friend.
Let's go.
The one and only Pastor Shaddye.
Man. Yeah, come on.
How long have we known each other?
I was with someone today who asked me the same question, and I was like, trying to do math. I think 2 years.
Oh, is that right? Okay, great. Wow, time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah,
time
2
flies.
Years. Come on,
2 years. We met here. I remember at our like summer thing.
Yes.
And you were with the fam rolling through.
Yep.
Just doing the fam stuff.
It was fun, man. All the blow-up toys, all the candy, all the food.
Not everybody in our world will know you. So I'll start with an easy one. What'd you eat for breakfast today?
Ooh, what I ate for breakfast?
Yeah, what'd you have for breakfast?
I had biscuits and gravy at the
my gosh.
bakery.
Yeah.
It was.
Were you meeting somebody, or that was just a free? Okay, got it.
It was a nice little meeting. It was fire.
The Snohomish Bakery's good, sneaky. They got all the flour when you come in the bags. Solid. So take as long or as little as you want, but your life.
Yeah. So like Nick said, my name's Shaddye. Originally from Zambia, so my family is from Zambia.
Yeah.
Was born in London, though. My mom was doing school in London.
You were born in London?
Yeah, born in London.
So you were born in Zambia?
Nope.
Do you have dual citizenship?
Not yet.
Oh.
I need to live in London for 1 more year.
Easy.
And I could get it.
Done.
It's just a weird thing. I've only lived there a total of 4 years, so that leads me back to the story. So born in London, mom was doing school, moved back to Zambia.
Okay.
And then when I was 5, we moved to London.
Okay.
Lived in London for 3 years. Then we moved to Washington, Auburn.
Okay.
When I was 8. Come on.
Shout out Pierce County.
Shout out Auburn.
Yeah.
And then went to Seattle U, ran track.
Yeah.
And from there, joined church staff in Kirkland, City Church Home. And
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Was there for 7 years on staff in youth, did a bunch of different stuff. Got married.
Yeah.
Met my wife at Church Home, City Church. And then
Christy.
Yep. And then a year 15 months ago, joined the team at Northwest University. Now I'm the campus pastor there and having a great time.
Go Eagles.
Go Eagles.
Got an AG jacket on.
Come on, AG jacket. It's new to me. But
and the shirt.
This was for Pastor Nick.
I felt like that was for me, for half of me at least.
Yep.
Still never been. Have you been to
No, but
Seoul?
I want to go. I see Alaska Airlines, I think, has plans to start flying there.
They do. Yeah,
So,
I think May of 2026. But who's counting?
We're in. I am.
And very importantly,
Yes.
In the beginning of this month or of beginning of November, moved in next door.
Next door. Come on. So
we're literal next door neighbors.
Share a fence, which we're going to be replacing soon.
Which we need a new one. What have we done so far that's neighborly?
You know, I would say opening our house is up to our kids. You know, my kids will run in there. Your kids will run in.
Mine keeps getting, I found out my younger son, because I texted you guys, we have like a group text going for our end of the cul-de-sac. I was like, hey, you guys don't have to feed our son every time he comes over. And then your wife was like, oh, like he just goes in there. It's like, okay.
We're on that. Listen.
No. Yeah.
Neighbors, no. Family, yes. Come on.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, man. What the off-track question.
Yep.
But because you got that international perspective, neighborliness in the UK, from what you can remember, Zambia, what you can remember, like, is that definition different in different parts of the world?
Yeah, I would for sure say so. I think here you're less caught up with living like near actual family, where like in Zambia, a lot of my family, they live very near to each other. Like they are actually neighbors with family. Yeah. And if you're not neighbors with a family member or something, they're going to be like family.
Yeah.
It's a very, one of the things we could quickly notice was that it's very individualistic culture here in America, where you can live next to someone and never know them. That's just not real.
That's like probably the norm.
Yeah. That's very normal here. It's just not normal in other places outside of here.
Okay. So I feel like, because most Western people, would be like, myself included, would be like, dude, that's so good. Like, so we want, man, we got the garage door openers. We don't know our neighbors. It's like, just so we can, maybe just to balance it a little.
Yeah.
Like, what's the downside of having neighbors like really involved in your life? If any.
You can get taken advantage of, or people can kind of plot and scheme against you with other people. Maybe for like theft or something. They kind of can tell your weaknesses and then let someone else know what those are, and then someone else take advantage of you, but you didn't know that it was your neighbor who kind of sold you out.
Dang.
So that's also normal.
Whoa.
Yeah. My parents have been, this is right before I was born, and then twice before I was born, my parents had like armed robberies that happened to our family.
Like forced entry?
Yeah, forced entry, got their car stolen, so much, like a ton of stuff out of the house stolen. And so,
was it a neighbor who like set it up?
A neighbor that kind of plotted and schemed and kind of knew weaknesses and things like that. So,
dang. Wow, that turned. We went deeper than I thought we were going to.
Oh yeah. Oh, and I'll have to share this one too. My great grandfather, my dad's grandpa, he was poisoned by a neighbor. Because he had a neighbor, he had a dinner every Friday with all the neighbors, and he was kind of the leader of the town.
Yeah.
Because in Zambia, most, the villages and people, the community living, and there's a chief and different, there's a leader.
Yeah.
So he was somewhat of like the chief, and a neighbor had told him, hey, this neighbor is going to try and poison you. And he's like, he pulled out that scripture which says, you'll eat or drink things and you'll.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
He won't die or whatever. My dad would say he died, but just not physically. He died mentally. And so
he got poisoned.
He got poisoned and he had to go to a mental clinic.
Oh my gosh.
And there's literally a picture of him being escorted by people to this mental clinic. My dad showed me like a few months ago.
Dude.
And
what what in the world? Man. This is like, I just want to, other than you, I'm not going to trust any of my neighbors. You know what I mean? Can I borrow some sugar? Never mind. I'm going to give you the sugar. What in the world? So why did he poison him?
I don't know. To be honest, my dad probably knows.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in front of the whole dinner, he said, I know someone has poisoned the food, but I'm still going to eat it to prove to you that, God is bigger. I'm not going to.
Which God is.
Yeah.
But,
God also gives us the wisdom.
Jesus, yeah, exactly.
Don't eat the poisoned food. Still did, man. He lost his mind.
That is so sad. I mean, I don't mean to laugh. I'm in shock.
Oh no, we had a.
What?
I mean, he's in heaven now, so we can.
Yeah, there you go.
Somewhat laugh.
Yeah, there you go. You guys, mind back.
Yeah.
He probably had that feast. Maybe was a little hesitant. Okay. What about in the UK? Because everybody's so much more densely living in London, so densely populated.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. In London, you live much closer with your neighbors. So it's much more normal to be in, just like you're saying, much closer proximity. So I know for us growing up, it was very normal to do dinners at multiple neighbors' houses. Mm-hmm. But I would say it would be kind of the in-between of what it's like here versus what it was like in Zambia.
Okay.
It was more neighborly, more probably friendly and maybe Seattle culture and Washington different demographics and things play into this as well.
Extra unfriendly.
I don't know the whole landscape, but it was just, you're kind of forced to be more neighborly.
Yeah, because we've always kind of been known for that Seattle freeze. Now I don't know if that's going to be. We don't need to get into the socio-demographics, but I'm like, as more and more people move here from other parts of the country and around the world, maybe it's going to be more friendly. I don't know.
Portland is more friendly than Seattle.
Well, that's because it's weirder, though.
It is weirder.
Bro, like, here, check out my leather apron. Like, no, buddy. Go ahead and first of all, you got to wear something under that.
Yeah. Keep it down, sir.
Keep it down.
Or madam. I don't know.
Yeah. So you finished our series, Won't You Be My Neighbor, talking about the story of the Good Samaritan. Have you preached through this passage before? I'm going to guess you have.
Probably. Yeah, I don't remember, to be honest.
Yeah. Really stands out. God was moving.
Spent a lot of time on this one. So
why do you think Jesus includes this parable? Just personally.
That's, the first thing that comes to mind is Jesus is trying to prove a point.
Yeah.
And I think Jesus is very specific. When he's trying to prove a point, he often used stories to do so.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think just the culture in that day and age, stories really landed well, gave people a bigger perspective and things like that. And so I think he was, man, I always think we get caught up sometimes thinking Jesus is like, he's like the nicest person in the world.
Yeah.
But then you start reading and you're like, man, you got a little savage in you.
A little salty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think this is one of those when he's like, who was a neighbor? Like you were caught up asking me like, who is my neighbor?
Ooh.
But I want to ask you, who was your neighbor?
Yeah.
And he flips the question back to him. And
dang.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's trying to prove a point.
It's interesting. I'm digesting that. Like he's almost forcing the guy to say the Samaritan.
Yep.
As if that was like unthinkable.
Yep.
As if, no, I don't want to say that,
Right.
And I think the first week of the series, Eric Wade kicked it off and he was talking about how like we lose in translation the animosity between Samaritans and Jews. And he went into the history of like Samaritans when I think it was the Babylonian Empire, when they came, the Samaritans were the people who intermarried with them. So then that's why they had to have their own temple because they kind of had a different version of God. So it was like you got
scripture, and
different ethnically, it was like, it wasn't so much these are second-class citizens. It was more like these are enemies. They like bastardized our faith,
Yep.
And then so obviously that's lost. Even I feel like even as hearing that or explaining that, you're like, okay, but what's the big deal? So he was like, this would be like if, someone from Antifa were in a burning building and like a MAGA parade went by, a guy went and saved him. Or a guy in the IDF rescues a member, or vice versa, a guy in Hamas rescues somebody in the IDF. Or like kind of like really, really different ideology, really different ethnicity. So I think that frames it a little bit more to what you're saying for Jesus to be like, well, who was the neighbor? The guy's like, you can't be serious,
Right,
like the Samaritan,
Right.
And so it's kind of a high standard. It's interesting. I'm just letting that sink in for a sec, Shaddye. You preach through the innkeeper a little bit. You preach through the difference between allowing like in our world today, there's a lot of opportunities to meet needs, to hold, I've heard this quote that like anywhere there's pain on the earth, there are Jesus people holding their hands against the wounds of the world, right? And so you get all that. What does that look like as you're talking about convenience and finding needs? Like, do you think most people who are Jesus people like see these needs day in, day out?
I think, I think we do see them very much so. Like the priest and the Levite, they saw it, but Jesus, he's not I don't think Jesus is as concerned as us seeing as he is concerned as us responding. And I think the neighbor, the difference was he didn't just see, but he responded.
Yeah.
And I think for us as Jesus followers today, I think we're going to see a lot of opportunities, and there's going to be a lot of opportunities to be good Samaritans. Yeah. Like, neighborly, whatever. But it's, hey, are we willing to be inconvenienced? Are we willing to pay the price? Are we willing to sacrifice whatever that sacrifice is going to be to do so?
You said a good word there. It's like so unthinkable to be inconvenienced at this point. It's like
we're so busy.
Our world, and they're so convenient.
Yeah.
Like cookies, DoorDash, groceries, ChatGPT.
Come on. I love it.
It's the best. Looked up some some soup recipes the other day. I made that soup the other night.
Oh,
I made this leftover turkey soup.
That's great.
So now I kind of feel like I'm on a soup kick. This doesn't need to be on the podcast, but you guys, the Melus, be on the lookout for some soups. I'm gonna beta test them on you guys. But like just that notion of, it almost feels like it's increasing, like inconvenience is an increasingly high price to pay for people.
Dang.
You know, like people are like, whereas before you would have been like, oh yeah, my schedule's interrupted or whatever. Sure, I'm going to do this for my neighbor. Now you're like, because everything else in our world can like do stuff for people.
Yep.
So I wonder, do you think people have this thought? I think I have this thought. And so I'm just calling myself out a little bit too, but I'm like, if somebody asks for my help, there are so many tools present for them. And so I'm like, if you're asking for my help, first of all, like why, like, have you not exhausted all the other options? or if they're asking for help, it's like, this must be something that you can't automate. Mm-hmm. And so it's like such a step outside of ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, you working with college students, how do they see this world right now, you think? Stepping out of convenience, neighborliness, the way of Jesus with people around us.
Yep.
Where are all these things landing for them?
I think this is funny you say this because I was just challenging our students yesterday in chapel that we can be so caught up with going and loving the world and being so kind to the world.
Yeah.
But then we're constantly frustrated and angry and mean to our roommate. So it's like, I think God would be more concerned with consistency. So instead of being so caught up with being a neighbor to the stranger, but can you be a neighbor to your roommate?
Yeah.
And can you be that person to your roommate? And then when you do go out and you are a neighbor out on the streets, it's an overflow of your everyday life more than it is a one-time event. So
interesting. Yeah.
I think that type of living for Gen Z, because Gen Z, it's easy for them to think, oh man, I need to go save the world. I need to go do this out in the world. I need to go downtown Seattle and do missions and tell people about Christ. And I need to go. But then it's like the everyday life that they have here where they have an opportunity to do what they feel really passionate. But it's like, and I think there's some of this in all of us. There's not as much credit or like credit in terms of like a story to tell later down the line to get credit for and be like, oh, you went downtown Seattle and you had what conversation? You did this, you did that.
Yeah.
It sounds much more cooler doing that out there than like doing that at your apartment or in your dorm room.
Yeah, totally.
And so,
or with your family.
Yeah, or with your exactly.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's in some ways I feel like that it hasn't changed. It's always harder. It's always easier to save the world than to like be a good person to which good is subjective, but yeah, man. What role, I didn't tell you I was going to ask this, but what role do you feel like who's the innkeeper today? Yeah. As you think about that, extending beyond convenience, what are some people or organizations or institutions that play the role of innkeeper?
That's a great question. I think number one, the church, when you think about Jesus being the Good Samaritan, he brings people into our care and he entrusts people to us and gives us resources, gives us tools to take care of them. Yeah. And then anything more that we spend, he's like, I'm going to repay you when I come back. So I think we as a church, that is one of our key roles. I do think about different organizations. You know, my dad worked for World Vision for many years. Yeah. I would say that they were definitely innkeepers. Yeah. He spent so much time in remote cities, remote towns, remote villages, which you literally had to like off-road for hours on hours to get to these remote villages. Wow. No actual roads. And I think, you know, organizations like Compassion, World Vision, these different, I mean, there's so many out there now, are innkeepers taking care of people that are in positions to, you know, some cases they can't take care of themselves. So yeah, that would be my thought.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's interesting. I like that Jesus says, here's what you need to take care of him. Jesus does the triage.
Yeah.
But then the recovery takes place. Yeah, because we don't know. I mean, again, it's just a parable.
Correct.
But, but I'm like, what's the prologue or what's the epilogue, Jesus? Does the guy get better?
Yeah, what ends up happening?
Yeah. We don't know. And maybe that's not the concern.
Yeah.
The concern of the innkeeper is to care. I mean, is he going to live there forever now? What if he was paralyzed? I mean, I go to all these places, but yeah, man. Well, anything else you want to share, Shaddye? What else is going on?
I'm just more challenged than ever in this season to just, I was that kid in college who I really wanted to be out in the streets and like, praying for the random homeless person or I remember once in downtown Seattle, a guy was asking me for money and I took him into the store and like bought groceries for him. And I remember just feeling like such a big pat on my back for doing some of that stuff.
Yeah.
I want to pat myself now. I still want to be able to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I more want to pat myself on the back for going out of my way, being inconvenienced by my kids.
Yeah.
By my wife.
Yeah, for sure.
And
because they can inconvenience us. No, I'm just kidding.
And I just think I was so caught up with, as a pastor, we can be so caught up with trying to love the world.
Yeah.
And it's then our family can get scraps. And so I'm more challenged than ever to do this with my own first.
Totally.
And then go from there.
Dude, there was this lady here who died kind of recently. And she had some developmental things, bunch of stuff. This made me think of it as you were talking. So she came into the church here a couple of years ago. I was like brand new, just like so excited to change the world for Jesus and, really continue the work here, but I have my own place in it and all this stuff. So this lady comes in and ends up like plugging in a little bit, ends up getting a brain tumor. And so I went to go see her when she was in the hospital, and there was another, like one of her family members was there. And this was so good because I'm like, hey, wow, like I'm Patty's pastor and played such a big role in her life, And the lady was really nice, family member. She was like, yeah, like, so you're the 18th pastor to come today. like she was like well connected at all the churches in the region. And so she was talking with us about getting baptized, and I didn't know. I was like, hey, just so you know, we really wanted to be part of her baptism. She was like, she's been baptized at most churches in the metro area. Like, sick. So I say that to say two things, though, came up for me in that about this idea of just like playing our role. I'm like, hey, I could like, because if that bothers me, then it's really about me. You know what I mean? It's not about me. It's about her. So I'm like, hey, maybe my role is just to be 18. And I'm happy to play that. Yeah, probably a really realistic part too. Like you're just saying, like, my family's not going to have 17 other me's, I don't think, Yeah. And so it's kind of like a good balance there of like, hey, if you're not the hero, it's okay. And there's a place where can be the hero, or there's a place where there's a role only we'll play.
Dang.
So you may as well lean into that where it matters. But on the other side, just like play your part.
Dang.
That just made me think of that. That was crazy. Like, yeah, you're the 18th one to be here today. Like, man, I thought I was special. No. Because she also wasn't like, and you're the last one. For all I knew, there were 20 more coming, I was just there midstream. So, yeah, that's man. Great. Dude, well, grateful for you, man. Grateful for your life.
Thanks for letting me be a part of this. This is super incredible.
Thanks for your life, your partnership, all of it.
Let's go.
Go Eagles.
Go Eagles.
Thanks for checking out the Extended Cut Podcast. See you next week.